Alright, today we're back in customs and we're going to have a look at some beluga whale technology that I don't really see many, if any, players using, even though it is extremely effective. But it's going to take a while to actually acquire the beluga whale, so we're picking this one up on turn 4. And I've got the Chihuahua plus Iguana start, which I don't take it all that often in custom packs. This was just a pack that I was recycling quite a lot, making slight changes and then reusing it. And taking Chihuahua plus Iguana always makes a nice change when a lot of the time you're just taking units like Chipmunk and Opossum and so on, the cell pets that are going to help you upgrade your tier 3s and 4s. So it looks like we're just going to win here. A bit unfortunate for Yogru there that the faint bred spawned the Babirusa. Not sure it actually mattered in the end or not. So take the Humphead Wrasse. And again, I think this, like I was saying before, this isn't a pack where I think I just kept modifying it slightly, so it would be very similar to some of the other packs I've used in recent videos. There were a lot of the push pets, a lot of the stat reduction pets. And so I think Wrasse and appears in quite a few videos from this particular era of recording. So we're going to use Bonobo to get the level 2. Or maybe I'm sure I'm going to take the Bonobo here. Although weirdly I moved the Wrasse back. Okay, we're going to correct that mistake. And we take the level up on the Iguana, get the Beluga. But am I going to actually buy it here or not? I guess we can, because we can sell the sea lion. But no, it's impossible for me to pass up Gelada, and I actually ignore the Beluga completely. So I think that definitely does confirm that this was something I was not going for in this pack. It just ended up happening later on in the run. So yeah, now I'm interested to see exactly how we get there. So I could take another level up here, but no, we're definitely going for Churros on the Wrasse in order to try and reduce the attack on a leopard or something before start of battle. I'm not sure it's going to actually happen in this run or not. I definitely had a huge number of attempts trying to make that happen. But my opponents just weren't cooperating with me. Speaking of which, here's a Troubadour. Not sure what he was going for here, but he's got the rice with the seagull for some very good value buy selling. And we're going to lose because the Saker Falcon level 2 gets the big buffs. So here we go, we get double Beluga in the shop turn 9. And I did pass up one Beluga, but it's pretty difficult to pass up 2. Plus we have the Flounder ready to go, so we're going to get level 2 Beluga next turn. Does mean that we're likely to lose this following turn because the Beluga has nothing in it. But we'll rearrange, put the Flounder at the front with the Seaweed. I think Seaweed is great for activating Flounder and Gelada, being able to actually get an ability on the otherwise useless unit for a turn is really helpful. Although in this situation it didn't actually make any difference. And level 2 Nessie, yeah, we are going to lose. So now we can take Cyclops, go for the level 3 Beluga. And I'm sure this pack also had Mushroom in it, so I'm sure the intention here was to use Beluga with Mushroom Pill and try and use it to farm a few units, or high tier level 3 units. So that to that end we're going to freeze the Pill Bug. Now this bat gets reduced down to only 10 attack, but are the buffs here going to be enough from the Triceratops? No, I think we're going to scrape a tie. That's fine. But we are on turn 11 with only 2 trophies, so there's a long way to go here. And I think maybe that probably changed my strategy. If you get to this point and you're going for something odd, generally speaking, when you get to like turn 11 and you've hardly got any wins at all and you're down to 2 hearts, it's not going to happen. You're basically guaranteed to run into teams that are going to be too strong to overcome with an odd squad. So having the Beluga definitely gives me a bit more confidence that I could potentially win. And I think the snipe from the Iguana did matter there. as we beat Meta Brusque. I also like the farmer dog allowing us to get the beluga to swallow something, even if it was a capybara. So here we get the mushroom, and I think I'm just going to take the rockhopper penguin and put it inside the beluga, or maybe I'm just going to buy it separately. One of the advantages with beluga and mushroom pill is, of course, that you get the multiplied stats, but generally speaking, that only matters on the units that have good starting stats to begin with. So, rockhopper penguin, what was it, 3-5? So a 9-15 is not going to be particularly good, even if the ability on rockhopper is extremely strong. So now we get to see the synergy in action. I think actually this was completely by accident, that the beluga with mushroom allows the rockhopper to activate. So I was really just using it to try and farm level 3 tier 6s. But in reality, you can actually use these units that have jump abilities or friend ahead abilities, or empty front space as we swallow the Cerberus there, and put a summoning perk on the beluga to make sure that they trigger. I mean, it's not guaranteed, of course. You can still lose the perk, but it is pretty fun when it does work out. Now, in the previous battle, it wouldn't have worked because the rockhopper was the last unit, so the dog was summoned first, so the second rockhopper wouldn't get to do anything. But there's no reason you have to play the beluga at the back. You can definitely move it further up the team, and I'm sure we're going to do that at some point here. Or maybe I'm just going to leave it at the back. I guess if you've got Cerberus, you can play it anywhere you want. It's only really the rockhopper generating the trumpets isn't going to work as the last unit on the team. So here we get the Cerberus, and it's got incredible starting stats. So it summons us at 27-27. But if we can put another summoning perk on the Beluga, we would have also got 3 fire pups there. So yeah, here I'm thinking about pilling the Beluga in order to get the permanent Cerberus, but I think I'm going to change my mind and go for a summoning perk. And we actually find another Cerberus. So I unfreeze the... Okay, we're just going to buy the pair, but I unfreeze it because I now need to find another summoning perk. Fellow Rockhopper Enjoyer, although ours is level 3. We do get very, very sleepy, but I think we should be okay because the doggo is still wide awake, and we have the 27-27 Cerberus in reserve. So yeah, just need to check which other summoning perks I've got. Looks like it's Mushroom is maybe the only option. But of course you could take something like Yggdrasil Fruit that's going to be a bit better than summoning a 1-1 Beluga. And then we'll just feed the Rockhopper to try and make sure that it doesn't get knocked out at start of battle. Of course we do have the Mushroom, but the Mushroom itself is only really there to protect protect it from being sniped. So here we go, we get to see the Cerberus in action. It pops out of the Beluga, and then it gets to summon the 3 fire pups, and then we still get our value from the Rockhopper. Actually, Mushroom Rockhopper there, you can see once it's activated, because it's only 1 trigger per turn, you don't get an additional activation anyway. So yeah, that I don't think there's no setup really where you could use Rockhopper plus Mushroom to get 2 full rounds of trumpet activations. But here we actually do face a leopard team, which gets reduced down to 4 attack on the big leopard. And this time we don't get to see this sort of Beluga pushback technology because it got sniped. But summoning a 27-27 is already extremely strong by itself. I suppose here I could have also just moved the Beluga up closer, just put it up 2nd position and put the Chihuahua to the back. But honestly, it didn't really matter here. I felt like I was pretty confident we were going to win no matter what. Now here we face a pretty heavily scaled triple Hornbill team, so we could be in some difficulty, and there is actually Peanut there on the Sumatran Tiger. We are going to get the triple summon from the Cerberus, but it's not going to be good enough. So not really surprising. We do still have our tier 1 and tier 2 that could have been replaced with tier 6s a long time ago. So yeah, we'll just upgrade the Chihuahua to Moonlight as a sea urchin. And hope that we get a better opponent next turn. And it's the same person, I think, as earlier with a snipe team. They completely wipe our whole squad. The Rockhopper comes back, and then the Cerberus spawns as well. So the Kraken gets removed by the Cerberus summons, and the sheer stats on the Cerberus plus the Doggo cleans up. It's been a while since I've had one like that where an entire team was wiped and I still went on to win. So the next thought might obviously be, can you do this in the static packs? And of course you can. However, your options are fairly limited compared to customs. So I went into Golden Pack to see if I could record anything with this concept in mind. And in practical terms, the only thing you can really use this for is Cobra. So technically, we've got a jump pet in Golden Pack in the form of Doorhead Ant, but its starting stats are 2-2. So when it gets summoned by Beluga, it's only going to be max 6-6 stat line, which is absolutely hopeless. I guess in theory we could have German Shepherd, Doorhead Ant, but it's not really going to gain enough health, I think, for that to be relevant. The other one you could use is Muskox, which is Friend Ahead Feints. So you could put Muskox inside Beluga and then have the monkey feint in front of it, but again, you're only going to get one trigger from the Muskox, and also, its starting stat line is very weak as well. So that basically leaves Cobra as the only sensible option. And you can see here it does work perfectly. The Cobra pops out and snipes after the monkey attacks. But realistically, you're not going to get more than one snipe from the Cobra very often, because the monkey would have to face off against something smaller that also summons again, like a slug. And here I'm playing against all packs, so the odds of that happening were even lower. But it is still fun to see it working in Golden. There aren't really any other summon perks that you can use. Technically, I guess Cherry is a summon perk, but that's only going to work in the backmost slot, which in this particular case is taken up with Secretary Bird, because I felt like I needed something beyond just the Beluga tech in order to try and win this run. Turn 19 in Golden. Don't get this far very often. Looks like I'm trying to bring in a third Beluga with Cobra inside. Okay, no, we're going to go for level 3 Beluga in the middle instead. And then presumably freeze Chocolate to try and find another Cobra, or maybe not. Doesn't look like it. Oh, okay, I guess I need another banana if I'm going to try and go for 3 Belugas with Cobra inside. Okay, we do finally get the Cobra. No banana, but we'll just have to take the Durian instead. Or maybe Potato? Yeah, I think Durian makes more sense, and can probably move that one closer to the front. There we go. Now, of course, in customs, you can obviously do a lot better than this. You could play Popcorn on the Beluga and then put in some summoning tier 5s. Beluga itself counts as a summoning pet, so if you're playing standard, you can't have more than one additional summoner, I suppose. But maybe there are other things you can do with this. Let me know in the comments below if you can think of any fun combos to do using this Beluga pushback technology.